Hello everyone, and welcome to Fableheim and Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I have been waiting for this game for quite a long time, and it is finally released. Now, this is just the creation of our character. I've already made him, but I wanted to go through each step. Maybe I can teach someone something, but more likely than not, this is just to make sure that everything is hunky-dory, because my experience with Pathfinder is, well, non-existent, basically. Except for my attempt to play Kingmaker, which I ruined like twice in a row. So, yeah. This is the character that I will be streaming every Friday, starting tomorrow. Hiisi, the Bloodrager, who, perhaps is not quite the hero that we all need. Now, whenever you create a brand new character, there are some pre-generated characters for your leisure, I suppose. And we're not talking about any of these characters, because we are, of course, making a custom character. And for a custom character, you need a portrait. Now, they do have these default portraits. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fan. The Kingmaker ones, these are the ones from Kingmaker. Even in Kingmaker, I felt like it was too limited. Like, there just wasn't, even though there's a lot of these, there wasn't enough. And there's even less for the Wrath of the Righteous portraits. But some of the female ones, oh, this would be so perfect. If only I was playing a female character. And I'm not opposed to playing a female character, by the way. It's just I have something I want to do as a male character in my first run, so we're going to be a dude. And the only elf male in the Kingmaker portraits is this guy. Nah, I'm going to pass. We're going back to this portrait, this great portrait. As for our class, there are many classes. Many classes, and each class has 6 archetypes, which is 6 subclasses, basically. And then there's prestige classes, which just means that you need prerequisites in order to become these classes. We aren't going to do any of that or any of that dual classing shenanigans. We are just going to be a Bloodrager and a Bloodrager Primalist. And that, what is a Bloodrager? A Bloodrager is a berserker with sorcerer magic, sort of. And Primalist makes it so that we can exchange some of our bloodline powers for more barbarian rage stuff, or for barbarian rage in general, because we don't get those by default. So our goal is to smack things. And there's a very, very important detail about us smacking things that we'll get to once we select our bloodline. I'm, of course, a male half-elf. I was really drawn on what I wanted to be, and I guess the basic is just human, but I don't want to play a human. I'm a human in real life, and in Baldur's Gate 3, I always play the half-elf. So we are playing as the half-elf, which gets keen senses, which gives us a +2 ratio bonus on perception checks. Perception checks are literally everywhere, so it's just a good thing to have. Elven immunities, which gives us a +2 saving throw against enchantment spells and effects, and racial heritage, which is right here. For the half-elves, we can get the basic, which is we are an exemplar of our race. Not a good exemplar. The dual heritage, where we lose the adaptability and keen senses, but we gain +2 racial bonus on will saving throws and elven magic, which gives us elven magic. This might actually be okay, because Bloodragers are pretty weak to will saving throws. It's like our weakest saving, but, you know, we're not going with that. And Kindred Rays, we lose keen senses adaptability and elven immunities, but we gain +2 bonus to charisma. Of course, we're being basic. We are, like I said, an exemplar, and we're going with perception, because as I mentioned, it is important. It also opens up to the mythic skill focus of perception, which I guess is just a better version. Then I didn't expect this. This is the background selection, and Baldur's Gate 3 recently added in this as well. Well, they had this, but they recently made it important-ish. And, I don't know what most of these mean, but I went through them all, and I'm not going to do that here. And I decided to go with Kadiran Wanderer, which gives us perception and lore nature. I think we already have both of those, so we just get a +1 to those. We also gain +2 bonus on saving throws against fatigue and exhaustion effects. Will that actually come into play? Who knows? But I did this for role-playing purposes. Even though Kadiran's like a desert or something, we're ignoring that detail. My character is a wanderer, because we are a half-elf. We have been forsaken, forgotten by both humans and elves, and we don't have much of a place in the world, except for the one that we make. So, as for our stats, Bloodragers are kind of unique in that they need a lot. They need a lot of things. As you can see, the game recommends strength, constitution, and charisma. Well, there are some details to that. As a half elf, we have +2 that we can select our racial bonus here. You can see it moving about. We're going to put that on strength because we are strong. Strong barbarian. Smack things. Strength is, of course, important for hitting things. And gives us athletics. This is our main DPS stat. Dexterity is important in this game for defense. This contributes to your armor class, your AC. So it also gives you initiative, which is nice. So it's pretty important to have dexterity if you're going to be anywhere near danger, which we will be right in the thick of it. Constitution is health. Health is good. Similarly, if you want to be in the thick of danger, you need Constitution. Intelligence is our one and only stat dump. This is it. So I dumped it. Not entirely, though, because if I dump it all the way to 7, we have a -2 modifier, but if I only leave it at 8, it's just a -1 modifier. Sure, whatever. It's 1 point. Who cares? Wisdom. Now, wisdom starts at 10 for this, for me, whatever. But I bumped it up 2 points because I couldn't really do much else with those 2 points. Meaningful, anyway. And wisdom contributes to your will saves. And as I mentioned already, will saves are pretty not great for the Bloodrager. So in order to not completely get dunked on by anything that we would try to will save, which I think is like mind control effects and other disorientations, I just put points in it. And of course, charisma. For the Bloodrager, you need 14 charisma to have access to all of your spells. Because as I mentioned, we're a Bloodrager with sorcerer stuff, so we get some magic, which I'll be explaining very soon. Don't you worry your pretty little head. And we would get access up to 4th level magic, so we need 4 + 10 charisma, which is where we're at. That's 14. Great. Good job. Me. Excellent explanation. These are our skill points. As I mentioned, perception is very important. It happens all the time, so we pop that up. And I really wanted to be persuasive. I really did. But I just went with athletics because it makes sense for what we're doing. This is based off strength modifier, so I'll be a little athletic. This is a fantasy world. I'm not athletic in real life. I can be athletic here. Isn't that great? Now, as for the feats, you get a lot of feats. This is kind of like talents, sort of, if you're familiar. Look, goodness gracious. And I went with weapon focus for my first one. The game recommended point blank shot or weapon focus. Point blank shot is we get +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls with ranged weapons at ranges of up to 30 feet. Guess what? We're not using ranged weapons. We're punching. And as for punching, as far as punching is concerned, I think I'm just going to go with the greatsword. The tried, the true, the greatsword. That's our first feat. And now to talk about the magic. Oh, jolly boy. So, like with the sorcerer, the Bloodrager picks a bloodline. This is whatever happened to you in the past that gives you access to innate magic. Over here, you can see that because I have chosen the arcane bloodline, I have these abilities down here. Now, why did I choose the arcane bloodline? There are a lot of options. There are many options. Most of these are draconic. But there are many options, and the reason I chose the arcane is because when we enrage, the blood rage, not only do we act like a barbarian and hit things harder, which is nice, but as arcane, with the arcane blood rage, we will immediately activate a spell. And we get to choose for the first level, or 4th level, I guess. We get to choose between Blur, Protection from Arrows, and Resist Energy. We get to choose the energy type. Blur is a pretty decent defensive option, I think, when it comes to, things not being able to hit you. At the next greater Blood Rage thing, we get to choose between Haste or Displacement. And I've heard Haste is a really good spell, but people who were writing on forums and stuff were saying that your spellcasters are hardly using haste anyway, so you would want displacement, which is a good defensive spell as well, like evasive spell. And then for the final version, the true arcane blood rage, you automatically cast Beast Shape 4, Form of the Dragon 1, or Transformation. So basically you just become a monster that smacks things. Boobadapap. Murder. Additionally, we are pretty anti-spellcaster, so our mere presence disrupts the concentration checks of nearby spellcasters, and it just gets better as we level up. And, that sounds good to me. Did I miss anything here? I don't know. Oh, we get some magic, but that's not really part of our jam. Basically, my goal with this was to be an arcane warrior that murders people, that punches things. We go into Blood Rage, all of our magical effects happen, we slaughter people. Now, there is a later game thing I want to do with this, but I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who doesn't know. Just rest assured, I have a plan. Now, usually when I say that in games like this, it's either, that's a good plan, or, I don't make it work somehow, but I'm going to do my best, I promise. Now, as for deities, there are a lot of them, and I don't think this actually does anything if you are not planning on being a divine spellcaster, like a cleric, war priest, paladin, whatever. So I just went with Pharasma. She is the Lady of Graves, the Mother of Souls, the Grey Lady, the oldest deity in existence. She helps ferry the souls of the dead into the astral plane, or something like that. I thought, yeah, this is okay. The thing that interested me with religion, or deity, you can't be an atheist, by the way. It doesn't really do anything, but you can get Rahaldum Faithless, which gives you 2 perception. I thought about it. But I'm just going to go with Pharasma. And the thing that interested me is all of the deities have, like, alignment requirements. Your custom character starts as neutral, and when you pick one of these, it locks the alignments that you can choose here. So because I am a follower of Pharasma, I can only be neutral. Any of the neutrals. And I have chosen Chaotic Neutral. I have a t-shirt, Chaotic Neutral, because I like to keep all my options on the table. I was going to be Neutral Evil, but the more I thought about it, we're going to be Chaotic Neutral, because Chaotic Neutral people are out for themselves. They believe in freedom. You never know quite what they're going to do. If they want something, they'll work to get it, but they're not particularly good, so they don't really want to help the innocents or go out of their way to help people, but they also don't really want to inflict harm on people that's unnecessary. And our character has been ostracized, is a wanderer, cares about his one goal, which is getting stronger, and there may come a time when he loses faith in this world, and we descend into the ranks of evil, but that time is farther away, I hope. This is the appearances. This is much improved from the first game, as most of Wrath of the Righteous is from my understanding. And this is our lovely character, aren't we beautiful? We have a scar over our eye, because we are a battle-hardened warrior, ready to slap. And of course I have my white-haired ponytail, because I have to.
Their life ends here!
Now as for the voices, there are more, I think, than there were in Kingmaker, but most of them are the same.
All I see is blackness.
I love Madmen so much.
I'll carve my name onto your flesh.
But I don't know if I'm going to do Madmen, because that's not what our character is this time. Our character's not evil, our character's not insane. He has a goal. His own goal, but a goal.
This will hurt!
So as boring as it is, I think I'm just going to go with the default of Confident, because it actually sounds good.
A mere flesh wound.
I like that one. That's what sold me. 'Tis but a mere flesh wound. I thought about being aggressive, but it sounds...
My wounds pile on. All this waiting bores me.
death metal-ish.
I'll take
So go with
care of it.
Confident. My name is Hiisi, of course. My birthday 26/11, which is my real birthday. Yay. So
I'm
this-
always ready.
I am always ready. This is our final results. Everything here. If you see anything that piques your interest or that you think is going to go horribly wrong, feel free to let me know. Thank you for watching this brief introduction that lasted almost 15 minutes. As I said, I'll be streaming Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous every week on Friday, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time for 4 hours or so, 4 to 6 hours, depending on how I feel. I also have a lot of thoughts for builds in this game, so there might be some videos or video series starting in a week or two after I plant my feet and get a basic understanding of what is happening. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I will see you, or I hope to see you, on Friday when we step foot into this legendary CRPG that I hope will be a blast. See you then.